My father-in-law is involved in a romance scam.
He's been drained of most of his retirement money.
Ralph has given this woman $130,000 to $160,000.
My father is lonely and looking for love and companionship.
My father-in-law had met a woman online from Alabama living in Germany, and that just threw up so many red flags for me.
My family has questioned that Louise is real.
In June 2018, my father-in-law was at the airport waiting for Louise to arrive. She didn't. And then he sent me a letter from German immigration saying that her visa had expired and that she was going to be held for espionage.
My wife called the German embassy. They said things didn't work that way.
Louise changed her name. Her name was Dottie. Then she changed her name to Dorothy.
And then Dorothy Louise, it switched to Louise Dorothy.
Why wouldn't you give somebody your real name?
We tried calling Louise. We got a message that it was a text now number, unable to make phone calls, just text communication. We thought that was suspicious as well.
Ralph had told me that she'd gone to school in Singapore. On social media, it said that she went to school in Sweden. Definitely a red flag.
I contacted the police department in his town. After they talked to him, they called me and said, we feel like he still believes that it's real.
To get the money that he needed to send to Louise, he cashed in an IRA that he had. He used money out of the family trust. He's closed and used checking accounts and savings accounts.
He thought it was just a loan that he would be getting back. She had sent him a bank statement showing that she had $850,000.
He believes that she will get that money back to him. They'll live together and they'll never have to worry about the money.
It's very upsetting because my dad has always been very smart with money.
Recently, Louise had asked my father-in-law for $2,500 to cover her rent.
I mentioned to her that I was worried for her, but I couldn't help. Since then, I have not heard as to where she is or what has happened to her.
It makes me so sad that he is 80 years old and looking for a part-time job when he's worked his whole life.
I do not think it is a scam. I trust her. I think she's honest.
My hope is we're going to get the evidence that we need to convince my father-in-law that this has got to be over.
Well, Dan, Lord, thank you all for being here. We talked backstage
Right.
For a minute, and you've been listening to me talk
Yes.
to Ralph. You were surprised that your dad was dating a woman he had never met, that he had gotten disinvolved with somebody he had never met, right?
Yes,
Because that's not like him.
correct. He initially told us about it the day before my daughter graduated from college. We were out to dinner, and he leaned over and said, I have a new girlfriend. And I said, where did you meet her? And he said, online. And I said, where does she live? And he said, Alabama, but she's currently working in Germany. And I was like, the little red flag went right up right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was your first reaction to him? What did you say back to him?
I was just like, oh, that's nice, tell me more about it, whatever. We got together, I think, for Father's Day, and he was passing around his phone showing us pictures of her and, look how pretty she is and everything. And it just, I don't know, it just kind of seemed too good to be true.
Mm-hmm. And too good to be true because of the age difference, because of they were so close so quick? What was it that sent off bells for you?
Just kind of the long distance logistics of how are you going to make this work? Mm-hmm. If this person is real, how are you actually going to get together? Are you, is she going to move up here? Are you going to move down there? Because I was assuming that she was coming right back to Alabama after her project was done.
And Lori, you had butterflies about this
Yeah.
from the get-go, right?
Yeah. When Dan told me,
What was it about it that made you skeptical from the beginning?
well, I mean, I've seen shows, read articles about romance scams, and it just, some of that stuff just kind of sticks with you. Mm-hmm. And, my father-in-law is a wonderful man, and he deserves to have somebody that he can spend his life with. And so as much as I want him to be with somebody, I want him to be with somebody that's next to him in the flesh. And so when Dan told me about this, I don't know, I just was like, I'm not so sure about that. It's a little weird.